You're probably wondering, how have they got away with using Red Barchetta by Rush for the music for the Sunday car service? How have we got away with that, Ian?
I don't know. Have you found an unlicensed copy?
Nope. Sat down and recorded my own version.
I'll get you. That'll do.
That'll do. That'll do. So anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the Interesting Modelling Company Sunday car service. This is our monthly treat, our look at the world of automotive modelling with Mr. Ian Hartup, who is currently, I think it's best to say, Ian, you're currently in the cooler with Steve McQueen, aren't you?
It's a bit warm in my workshop. Yeah. The aircon has been running since 10 o'clock this morning.
Oh,
only borderline below thermonuclear up here, so
I wouldn't want your electricity bill now.
No, I'm gonna park that for the end of the year, hopefully.
So how are you doing apart from that? Apart from wilting?
Yeah, obviously the heat means that sometimes I don't get to get a great deal of time up here when it is particularly hot. But when I've not been particularly productive anyway. Work's been a little bit busy, and other things have interfered. So yeah, but I actually did have a bit of a tidy up of some bits and pieces. I've been having some, Drew set me off on one.
You're doing a Drew, aren't you?
Yeah, it was Drew was like, I've been in my loft and I've been turfing stuff out, and I was like, heck. And then the old ADHD brain kicked in. I went, well, really, you should do a bit of that, Ian, and work it out. So I've been pulling out work in progress projects from stash and going, right, just those. Unfortunately, the brain don't work like that, does it?
No.
Because you open one of them boxes and it sends you down the rabbit hole to something else, and then no, it's not good. It's not big.
I admire the fact that Drew dusted off a project and just went, oh, actually, I'm going to finish that one off now. So
was that the airliner?
It was the airliner, yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that, actually, because
I am.
That's very distinct.
Viewer agent David Fleming makes a very good point. He says, won't need the dehydrator today.
No, Dave, I'm sat in it.
Rehydrator, quite frankly.
Well,
yeah, well, that's what I've got. What have I got here? I've got, it's a nice hot ginger drink or something. It's like a ginger tea bag, lemon and ginger tea bag. Very nice. I'm saving that for afterwards. So, right. So shall we leap on with the news and projects, or where would you like to go first, Ian? I've just lost the schedule. It's disappeared.
Projecty wise, obviously the Stratos still dominates. Doing. Really, I'm enjoying it in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, I'm not enjoying it, but in a majority of ways, I am. I'm into bodywork stuff at the minute, and there is a lot of bodywork because obviously it is a big car. This is the rear body section, so you get an idea of what's involved. That's had many coats of white primer, sanding, and now we're into, I think we've had 3 coats of gloss white on that now. So I'm at a point where I'm actually able to start decaling with this.
Shiny.
Learned a lesson with this one though. So this decal, this beautiful, ignore the Monte Carlo bit separate. That logo with the red and white is a single decal. It's all beautifully pre-cut to fit into that grille, in fact.
Clever.
Absolutely. I mean, it's Cartograph Class A. real Class A car scratch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, it wasn't until I'd gone a little bit further down the line. I'd got it on, I'd got it done, dried, I'd put all the other bits and pieces on. These are all decals. This stripe's all decal, although obviously we know about the colour match in there. And I got it to this point, and I gave it a wipe over with a wet wipe type thing.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a process I've followed for a donkey's years. Gave it a wipe over with that, hit it with a tack cloth, and gave it a couple of light coats of Gunze UV cut clear, rattle can clear.
Mm-hmm.
Set it to one side, came back the next day, and it's covered. And I don't know if the camera will pick this up in this kind of patchy.
I can see it. Yeah, it's like
and it's gone all, and it's up here, and it's in here. I was
fuming,
stunned and amazed. Couldn't work out what it was. It's the decal adhesive.
Right.
Because it's warmer, the decal adhesive has gone and dried on top, and the clear coat is reacting with it.
Mm-hmm.
I have flatted this all back with Trizac 3000, and then given it a 6, and then it's had another coat, and it's coming through again. It's not as bad as it was. I have to say that's an improvement. I think I've got another couple of bits, and then some more. The good news, obviously, because I use the rattle can UV cut stuff. This one, here's one I prepared earlier. This stuff, you can buy this in a bottle as well.
Uh-huh. Oh yes.
Yeah, GX112. So I can do localized work.
Yeah.
To build the finish back. The lesson is learnt in that with this one, because what I then did the rear deck cover, and that's been very thoroughly washed with soapy water, and the first coat of clear has left none of the residue marks.
Yep.
So we're at a point where there's a lesson learned in there, that take a little bit of extra care and a little bit more time, and you'll have a great result.
That's why I always keep somewhere in one of the drawers here. It's makeup removal pads.
Yeah,
I've got a big pack of them from Poundland, and with Decals, I always have a dish of tepid soapy water before I start putting varnish on. Is the night before I will go over the whole model with some of these makeup pads and some of the tepid soapy water, and just clean everything off, and then let the model sit overnight, and that's it.
While I'm not doing
anything, it's happened to me.
Yeah, and it was, when you just look at something and go, and I knew instantly. Realistically, I really did. I knew instantly when I saw it dry, and I was like, yeah, there were words I'm not going to say on the show.
No.
That's just,
no.
And it's an annoyance more than anything. It set me back a week or two, but I'll probably end up with a better finish on it for the extra time I'll spend getting it all flatted and recoat and flattening. I'll end up with a beautiful finish on it. The benefit, of course, is it's going to be displayed with everything open. So, at least the pieces won't all be next to each other, because, it'll hopefully be all right.
Mike Williams says, I applied some decals yesterday afternoon in my loft workshop. Welcome to Loft Workshop here tonight. They dried out within an hour. Heat shrinkage working perfectly in this clement weather.
Am I allowed to call it inclement, actually? Because I really don't do warm. I'm a ginger. I go straight from lobster to bright red, and I don't do warm.
As Drew will testify, Drew and I, we are definitely autumnal lads. We don't do hot weather. And I tell you the weird thing, Ian, is that I've never, in 50 odd years, I've never suffered from hay fever, never had a problem with it, nothing, right? something is out there at the moment, and my nose goes off like a balloon. I will be scratching it, and the other day when I went out for a walk, and I came back, and honestly, I look like a cross between Carl Malden and Jimmy Durante. It was just one day for a kid, but it was just horrible. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Right, so shall we talk about your other project we've got here, which is this. Not so much the model, more the case we're going to talk about. But tell us what the model is anyway.
Well, there's a couple of models here. These are both my Skylines that I finished last year and into the early part of this year. So there's the I'm going to get these right the right way. This is hang on, blimey. This is the Fujimi R34 V Spec 2. That's the NER, and that's the Tamiya V Spec 2. They were built side by side from my own point of view for like a comparison. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of my models, I build them, and when I built them, they go in one of those plastic storage boxes. You know, the really useful boxes. And they are really useful boxes. But they're not good in there. You know, nobody ever sees them. And then you put them on put your model on a shelf, and you come back a few weeks later, and it's covered in dust, isn't it? Or pollen. Yeah. Now, these cases are made by a company that isn't actually very far away from me. They're in a place called Horbury Bridge. And they've started to appear on the show circuit quite a lot. And they're called Visual Impact. And Visual Impact turns out to be owned by a lady who went to school with my wife's oldest son. Oh, well, no, only son. My wife's son. So, and in the village we live in. So, and they make these lovely cases, and they also do a lot of sign work, and they're good value, and they're becoming widely available. There they are at a show. I know they did the Skipton show last weekend. I know they're doing the Stoke show at the end of August. I seem to remember her telling me that the other day. They will be at Telford. They were at the NEC event. You know, the key event at the NEC, and I've seen them at Lincoln as well. I think they're at Lincoln again this year, probably. So they are getting out there now with this product. Traditionally, there were a couple of guys in the market doing cases. I had a few cases made up at other shows, and they were 50, 60, 70 quid a pop. Now, this one, which was made to measure, I have to say, my fault, mea culpa, not for the model that's in the box, because I got my dimensions out by 1 millimetre. 20 quid. So from a value point of view, they represent immense value for money. And it means that I can put a model on a base, put the base in the box, put the box on display, and they're out there being seen, not picking up dust. Nice, and these wipe down beautifully with just a soft cloth. They don't particularly pick up dust, and they come. Bear in mind, I PVA my models in. They're all, they've got feet on them and all that stuff. So there's a couple of our favourite people in the world. So name it, a couple of name it plaques coming for these as well to finish them off, and they will sit on display somewhere in the house. And it's a model I built that's on display in the house. Not in a box, stored away in the back corner of the loft or on the bottom of the stairs, just not being seen. And I think as an opportunity for that, it's a better thing. These aren't necessarily ones I'll take to shows. But even then I can. A little bit of masking tape to tape the two pieces together, put it in a storage box, transport it. It's easy.
I tell you what, I noticed I think it was last year when we were putting together the hobby company stand at Telford, and we had a lot of models that had come from Japan, and they were all beautifully all secured in little cases like that. They do a job. So there we go. That's the people that you use, visualimpact.org.uk. So
they're good, and the thing is, I mean, I'd messed the dimensions up on that one. So I was able to email her and say, actually, can you make me one? I've made a mistake. These are the other dimensions. I'm picking it up on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
They're really, really good. Can't fault them for that.
No. Right. The next news item is a bit of a monster. This is Italeri, and they're doing a 24 scale Iveco S-Way. Now this, as you say, Ian, it says new molds on there, but I'm just going to call up the blurb, Italeri's own blurb, what they say. Calls it up. Oh, blessed link hasn't come up again. Here we go.
So it's new cabin and interiors, new engine parts, new chassis parts, new suspension. So it's a very typically Italeri one where they have, much like the original trucks, they'll start with a standard platform and then there are specialised variants developed from that platform. And Italeri seems to have gone that way with this range of Ivecos. This is I don't build trucks very often. When I do, they're usually Italeri because there aren't many other people doing them.
No.
Not for the European market. But I looked at these pictures of this one and was like, oh, hello. That really does look good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping it's tooled by the people that tooled the Bugatti, not the Stratos.
Mm-hmm. Does look a bit tasty, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
I get the horrible feeling, though, all of our dance cards are going to be pretty much full in the run-up to Telford. So I'm sure one of these will be required. But anyway, there we go. Very nice decal sheet. Looks like a cartograph sheet from Italeri again, with lots of different nationalities for the number plates. And also looks like some litho printing going on there as well with the shaded areas. And two themes in the kit, a Magirus branded vehicle, and that one, Fuel Hero.
I do rather like that.
Yeah, I like that one as well.
Is it silver or is it white? That a bit of pearl white under that, and that'd look absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I quite like that one, but no, actually, no, I'm with you. I prefer that one. Yeah, but that does look, as I said, that does look a bit tasty. I've got a couple of these Italeri trucks. Why I've got them, I don't know, because I was never asked to build them. But I wouldn't mind dipping my toe in at some stage. Unfortunately, Ian, you'd need to clone me about 10 times so that each of my 10 clones can get on with all these projects that I'd like to work on. But
I know that feeling.
Yeah, exactly. But
there's a sticker on a toolkit somewhere over there that says, "He who dies with the most model cars wins."
Isn't that a variation on "He who dies with the most toys wins"? Yeah. Very dark episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation as well. Was originally going to star David Rappaport as the central character, but he sadly died before they started filming it. But anyway, we're off on a tangent there.
I think I remember that, actually. Yeah.
Quite a grim episode.
Mr. Fleming, yes, it does.
What's that? Where is he?
Fleming says, that white one looks a bit Transformers. I think he's right.
Yeah.
Why I liked it.
I'll let you into a secret, Ian. Right, Transformers. Right, between you and me. Right, robots in disguise.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, right. The next news item is it's a Ferrari. Now this is Alpha model, and I do believe you may be getting some Alpha model stuff at some stage.
Well, obviously, the last time we spoke, you'd had the first little parcel we expected from them.
Yeah.
Which contained the rather beautiful GTC Ferrari, which I have fondled.
It has turned up safe, is it?
It has turned up safely. I have fondled it. I have forced myself to set it aside and not because obviously I've got these other two bits to do for Telford, but it is surfacing. It is definitely surfacing, and very soon, because I just opened the box, spent 2 or 3 minutes in the box, and was like, "Oh my word!" It's better than the ones I already had, and you can see an evolution in them. The quality, I mean, the resin in them is just stunning, isn't it? This car snuck up on me, actually. I have to say, until this actual picture appeared in my information from Alpha, I hadn't got a clue what a torque cylindry was. I'd never even heard of it. Now I've seen the pictures of the real thing and all that kind of stuff. I think I may be in love. That is a proper Ferrari GT car.
Yeah, I'm just going to say we've got another car coming up in a moment. They all seem to be kind of like following the same kind of design model, don't they?
Yeah, they've moved away from their traditional design styling that came out of things like the Testarossa and Forward, and they've gone to this newer design ethos, and they're definitely angry.
There's another one coming from Alpha.
The 812
Competizione.
That's not Competizione. That's actually a second or third boxing of this, I think. They've upgraded the decals to include this one that's supposed to look stylized, like it's been drawn, like a manga kind of effect, which is what the decal sheet is. I think that's rather clever. I don't think we're expecting one of these. I have to say, which in retrospect, I am a little disappointed by. But there you go. It's a bit special, that, isn't it?
That is very nice. But I got to say, the other one that Alpha are doing, that turns my head.
We're promised this.
Okay. Again, you kind of go back to that Ferrari, and they're very similar stylings going on here, isn't there? It's but these aren't CAD renders. These are actual castings.
That's I think that's a 3D. From what I remember, that's the 3D prototype, or one of the 3D prototypes. But I mean, that's. I love this generation of Aston Martins that's kicking around now. This latest set, they've become much more aggressive in their styling, much more haunt you, if you know what I mean. They just,
very kind of DB3, DB5, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a bit of a lean towards the heritage. There's a lot of performance in there, as obviously being Aston Martin. But
let's put it this way: I look at these photographs of this 177, and my first thought is, I can see where the machine guns would go. I can see where the bulletproof glass would go, the revolving number plates, the oil squirters, everything, and but that's just beautifully produced, isn't it? I know we're always kind of like, we tend to overload on the superlatives on this show, but then I think a lot of the time we are choosing some of the best to highlight anyway, and this certainly is the best of the best, isn't it? A very beautiful, you get a very beautiful decal sheet with some photo etched bits and what look to be, they're not canopy masks.
No, it's die cut, clear sheet with the black printed onto it, and then they're laminated between two films. So you peel the inner film off, fix it in place, peel the outer film off, and you're left with a crystal clear glazing.
Brilliant.
The top right carbon fiber sheet. I mean, there's a bit of work there, but
I tip my hat to the designer of that, because speaking as somebody who's always wrestling with odd shapes, it's not fun. You usually end up ankle deep in printer paper where you've been constantly printing things out, cutting them out, or even running them through the silhouette plotter to try and get the shapes to run. But there we go. Those are the castings.
I expected, after the Ferrari, I expected the big grille at the front to be photo etch and makeup. It's not. If you look, it's dead center of that picture. Casting
it's resin.
That's going to be so fragile. But yeah, the thing is, because it's got a curve to it, I suspect doing it in photo etch would have been very, very difficult to do. So resin casting like that, yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
But if you look, the parts count isn't huge.
No.
Yeah. And that's because they go that curb route with the screw-in chassis and a fairly lowish parts count. Okay, there's photo etch bits, but if you go back to the photo etch fret, there isn't really that much compared to some, what have you got? You've got a small detail sheet, brake discs and visors and wiper bits, window surrounds, and there isn't masses and masses of in inverted commas pointless photo etch, if you know what I mean. There's tiny little bits, 3 weeks to fold up and then disappear. Yeah, that they keep away from that stuff.
Yeah, you've got buckles and things there, so
I think it needs the just enough.
Yep, I agree. Yep. Yeah, that is just a. Do you know what? If this car doesn't somehow make it into Denis Villeneuve's new Bond franchise, I will be frankly gobsmacked. Although I think Denis Villeneuve should change his name to Bondy Villeneuve because it just fits the brand, doesn't it? But no, it's that beautiful, absolutely beautiful car. Yes, right. Could we call this beautiful, Ian? This is Mobius, and they're doing a 25th scale. 1964 K code Mercury Comet.
That, you see now, this is from the real heyday of American muscle cars in the 60s. Mustang, Mercury Comet, Pontiac GTO, that era of real hardcore American muscle. And Mobius, and we've had this conversation before, another manufacturer that's not very well represented generally in the UK, sadly.
I agree.
Their pickups and stuff that we've covered before. There is an AMT kit, which I think, and Lee Croden, my friend, will no doubt put me right on this, I think was originally tooled in 64. So, this will no doubt be chassis perfect. That will have been a screw-on floor.
This is a new tool kit, isn't it?
It's an all-new tooling kit. Yeah. This artwork is actually predating the kit because this came from the guy who did the artwork's Facebook feed. So he's put a couple. I think we covered one last show or the show before.
We did,
and I just like the fact that they're actually putting some properly dynamic artwork on these as well. That you know that thing's going quick. Just from that picture, don't you? I do like the little comet in the sky shape in the Milky Way escape in the background. It's a nice touch, but yeah, they really are. And it's obviously Mercury, Ford, Link again. I believe 210 Fords in that. Not the big engine that a couple of people have suggested would be in it on one of the online cars. It's the sort of medium to high power, not the high power. So, yeah. I must admit, I am quite taken with that.
You know what? Something on that image, that painting did trigger a. So I'm just trying to bring the image up here. Oh goodness me! I hate it when these things won't run properly. Oh, right. Okay. Well, why won't it load? Right. Okay. The back end of that Mercury is very reminiscent, and I'm sure this was deliberate on the part of the designers back in 1979. Just reminds me of the rear of the engine nacelle on the Refit Enterprise from Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Yeah.
It's just got that kind of 1950s car styling to it, hasn't it?
Yeah. There's when you think in this period in the 60s, we were into things like the Mercury 7.
There we go. Look.
Yeah.
So if we look at that, and it's almost identical, isn't it? It's almost got the side light running through it and everything. Yeah.
There was a period of time where American car design was very heavily influenced by fighter jets, the Find era and things like that. And then it progressed into the space era when you've got the Mercury 7, the Gemini guys, the Apollo guys, and that big thing around being in space. And so you can see styling cues developing from the 50s and 60s and 70s all around that kind of development. And it's very interesting. Our cars didn't necessarily follow it the same. Our cars tended to mimic them, but be smaller somehow. You only have to look at like a Cortina Mark 1 Cortina against the 64 Mercury and the 64 Ford, and they're kind of like a smaller version of the same kind of shape. It's a very interesting, and the shoebox, that Jim Oldscott's talking about, the shoebox style there.
Yeah, Jim says the Comet shows the early 60s shoebox body style that American car makers produced back then. And there we go.
You think about that the blue and silver 64 that I built with the towing guard. So that, there'll be parts of that Galaxy that were shared with the Comet platform because obviously they're both Ford products. So it's I don't forget the kit. I love the box. I love the image. I'd happily have that as a poster. That's a corking piece of art. I'm really impressed with that. But I'm looking forward to the kits. I think it's whether we'll see them over here in sufficient numbers for them to warrant more coming in, and that's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I was on. In fact, I'm currently on that Amazon at the moment. I am. Next payday, I am going to treat myself to one of these. Sorry, I'm just going to lost the page. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. So this is Mobius, and come on, fill the screen. Here we go. This is a kit that they do, and it's 1-to-1 scale. And I've just got to
go with this.
I've got to have this. I've just got to have one of them. It's and you can light it up and everything. Unfortunately, it doesn't talk. It doesn't try to murder you. At least I hope it doesn't. But I want one of them. And I think that would be a fun project to build your own HAL replica. Ironically, actually, not that hideously expensive. It's about 40 quid, which. Okay, it's not pocket money prices, but compared to a lot of the stuff out there, I want one of them.
I was reading somewhere the average 35th scale kit price for new releases this year is 75 quid.
Yeah, something like that.
40 quid ain't bad then, is it?
We'll take that. We'll take that. Right, we're just going to have a quick catch up and big shout out to everybody who's tuned in tonight. So, big hello to Hobby Time, Moz Models, On Plastic Wheels. That's On Plastic Wheels, that's you. Kitchen Table Modeler, Russell Taylor, Locks9, Dave Coward, John P. Huston, Black Skunk Works, who says, perfect timing after the Wimbledon final, Tom Muchley. Who won that? I didn't follow it today.
So it was a hard fought battle. They were Sinner was 2-1 up last time I saw. So
okay. Actually, I'll do that when we have an intermission. Not an intermission. I'll check the scores in a second. Dougal McWoogle, Jim Altergott, Agent Dave Fleming, who says Heidi Ho. Anne-Marie Royal Gould, Kev Tinker, Michael Hooverland, Ian Goldstraw, Mike Williams, Greg Woodbridge, Phil, the mysterious Phil, Rally Chef's Model Shed, Jerry Doyle, oh my goodness me, Jerry Doyle, what a guy, Brian Wilson, Damien Mullen, scrolls down, John P. Huston, another great guy. Well, they're all great guys, really, and great gals.
And gals,
Darth Bilius, get some ready for that, Darth Bilius. He says, I'm moving house at the moment, and the logistical headaches my stash has cost are eye-opening. Yes. Travis Thompson says the tail lights look like wings is very cool. Not sure it's if that's their normal look. I think he's talking about the Aston.
Yeah, it's very much their style. That kind of shaping, and then the top.
Oh, Crow Customs. Goodness me, John, I have a bond bug to send you. I'll get your address from me, and that's very kind of you, Crow Customs, because I'm trying to get one out of the office and they never have any left. So
that's Lee Croden, the aforementioned Lee Croden.
Oh, right, okay, thank you for that. That's brilliant. Now here we go. We've got an update from BBC Sport. Sinner beat Alcaraz 3-1. There we go.
Yeah.
And viewer David says, I need a howl to tell me it can't do things. Honestly, I that will probably be my project of the year. That will be.
Can't do that, Dave.
I watched that?
Most enigmatic lines in history, isn't it? I can't do that,
Dave. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. And it was interesting is that they apparently, we've gone off on a tangent here, but we do this. I years ago, I was at a jumble sale in town, and I picked up a copy of a book called The Making of 2001. It's like a little paperback, but it's a dirt thick book. But I must get another copy of it because I don't know where mine's gone. But there were interesting things in there. For example, there's acres of stuff telling you how they did the model work and the visual effects and everything. But apparently Douglas, I can't think what his name is now, Douglas Ryman, I think his name is, who played Hal. They recorded his lines, but then they chopped them up. They chopped the tape up so that it would flow, but it would just have that slightly kind of not quite human quality to it.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a Kubrick film, for goodness sake. You know, it was like, Mr. Kubrick, that will cost $20,000 and will take 6 weeks.
Yeah, right. Just do it. Yeah. It's always that closing sequence. The light show at the end, and wow. You have to wonder what they were taking.
That was the late great Douglas Trumbull with his slit scan process of taking a series of still images from moving the camera with a long exposure, so you get like a blur. Well, I'll tell you what, Ian, we'll do when I get my HAL, we'll do a 2001 episode, and we'll talk about 2001 kits and everything. So, right, shall we move on to the next news story? And the next news story is do an update on Funbox and the Kickstarter C44.
Some time ago, way back in the early days, you and me doing this bit of the show, we covered this as a newly released kit. Now, 2 years, best part of later, we don't yet have a kit, but we keep getting these little teasers from Funbox. It is interesting that it does appear to be a licensed product. It does appear to be coming still, but I'm not entirely sure that I remember it being a C44. I think the original release was going to be a C43, but I might be wrong. So they're doing something. They are doing something, and that may be a render. It may not. Who knows? But it looks like the Sauber.
There are. I'm just going to go and grab some of the other pics actually, because there are actually kit part images. So it's here we go. So these aren't renders. These are kit parts. This is 1/12 scale, by the way, as well. So it's going to be like Gert Monster. But yeah, sprues. There we go. So
I've not seen those yet, so that's news to me. All I kept getting was those little teaser shots.
Okay.
Trial produced part and is still being optimized. Is that metal?
Yeah, those are white metal parts. So right, okay. Well, these are all out of sequence now, but so there we've got white metal parts. So we've got those sprues. We've got the bodywork and the chassis, beautifully produced there, by the way. Then we've got wheels and hubs and undercarriage stuff. Then we've got more detailed parts.
Pods and airbox.
Yeah.
There's the planks moulded separately. That's a nice touch.
Mm-hmm. So clearly it is coming along, because, like I say, these aren't renders; these are actual kit parts.
I'm colour me impressed. I'm looking at that. Go back to that last image again. That top left sprue, as I look at that, that's a multi-part front wing assembly.
Mm-hmm.
With all the slack. Yeah. It's tempting, isn't it? I daren't even think about how much that's going to cost.
Well, it's 1/12 scale, so
it's going to be in the 250 mark.
It's going to be a few noughts on the end of that, yeah. So, but it does.
If it turns up for 55 quid, I'll be chuffed to bits, but I very much doubt it will. Plus it's green. It's being the kit sponsored car, it'll be bright green and it'll be lovely. Because of course, in light of the developments of the British Grand Prix with Mr. Hulkenberg driving the kit sponsored car to his first ever podium after 279 starts or something. I was chuffed to bits for the man, but that'll be I'll be all over that like a rash if I get the chance. So.
It does look. I mean, I've got that big 1/12 scale Tamiya Tyrrell to build for Russ at Jadlam.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I must remember at the end of the show to tell everybody about the Cars at Jadlam show, which is taking place this Thursday. So I will be there doing some modelling. Cool. 12 scale. But this just looks like a monster, doesn't it? It's
these modern F1 cars are not small.
No.
They're a big thing. And I think some of the purist F1 guys are like, can we go back to small cars, please? But they've got to the point now where the safety and everything in them is such a big feature of them. You could make them smaller cars again.
No, well, you can't because they're so much faster now. They have to have so they're so much faster. So the aerodynamics are going to change as they get faster. You've got to put more safety features into them. And it's you're constantly kind of squaring the circle on these. But it's a fabulous looking car, though. I mean, I'm not a F1 fan by a long shot. I watch F1 on the radio. That tells you everything you need to know. But and you can see from these images here, you can see where those white metal bits go. Because
It's the suspension arms and the halo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Callum. If that turns up and it's anything like as good as it looks, there, yeah, that'll be really nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, and it's going to come down to money, isn't it?
It all comes down to money, Ian, unfortunately. Right. Right. I'm just going to go to my camera for a second because I went out and bought something this week. I've just lost my... There we go. It's a borehole positioner. Now, I'm going to run the VT on this whilst I take the bits and pieces out, because you're all probably thinking, what have you bought there, JM? Well, we are going to run VT. So I had to have one. So it turned up, cost me about, I think it's about 40 quid. But I'd rather, I've said this before, I'd rather buy tools than kit. And it is absolutely beautifully made. Let's just zoom in on, let's go solo. Come on, camera, zoom in. OBS. No, I don't want to download a new version of OBS, for goodness sake. Right, here we go. 3. Right, there we go. So yeah, it is solidly made. It's quite a weighty item as well. Beautiful how everything is calibrated. You can just, everything slides absolutely fabulously. Yeah, okay. Some people are probably thinking, why do you need something like this when you've already got tubing and, Albion alloys bits and pieces? Quite possibly, but there are instances sometimes where you do need to make a little bit of a custom piece, or make railings or something. So I saw this and I thought, do you know what? We're going to get one of these. And frankly, I am not disappointed with it. And I can't wait for the one-upmanship to start and to see Drew get one as well. So there we go. So absolutely, what an absolutely fabulous bit of kit. Are you with us, Ian?
I am. Sorry, while I was off camera, I was just finding something that I was going to put into AOB.
All right. Okay. Right. Well, we're coming up to the last 2 news items for tonight. So mini art. We're going to end with a mini art double bill. Oh no, Ian.
SK Decals.
What about these SK Decals? Yeah.
So we can have a little chat about SK. SK Decals are a Far Eastern based brand who are doing a lot of work with Zoom On. Who are also obviously a Far Eastern based brand. There's a lot going on in the Hong Kong, Macau area around decal manufacturer and 3D printed bits and resin casting, upgraded parts. So the new BMW M4 has just arrived, along with the revised version of the Audi that you've all seen me build a couple of, which is now available as the GT3 Evo 2. Let me get that right so I don't look an idiot. Yes, I am. GT3 Evo 2. Which is, they're now getting a bit more available. Now, these cars are racing in a lot of GT championships globally. There's we've just had a trifecta of races. So we've had the 24 hours of Spa, we've had the 24 hours of the Nürburgring, we've had the 24 hours of Le Mans over 3 successive weekends, and the M3s, the Mercedes GT3s, the Audis are all showing up at these races, and they're all showing up in spectacular colour schemes. And SK, I don't think he can do them all, but I think if he could, he would. He's the standard is stunning. So this is the 4 sheets that we got the announcements for this week. So there's the 24-hour of Spa car from 2023. WRT Racing switched from Audi to BMW between 2022 and 2023. So the Skechers car bottom right has the race number of 46. Significant to those of us who know our motorcycle racing history, that's Valentino Rossi's car. The Nunu R8 GT3 Evo 2 is a WRT car with race number 46 that raced at Spa in 2022. So there's a nice, you can build both now, basically. That is intended for the new
yeah, go on.
GT3, which has just come out, which I have in my hand. And these sheets are just lovely. The Bathurst car, bottom left, that was doing really well until they put it into the concrete barriers coming over the mountain, and it didn't after that, funnily enough. So yeah, we're seeing some really lovely schemes, and he's done. Were there a couple of other pictures there as well, John? Of those?
No, that was it. That was only one you can. That was only one you sent me.
Evo, he's also done an Evo 2 Macau car, Uno Racing Team. That's just been announced. He's very, very, very prolific, and of a very good quality.
Yes,
I've got an example in front of me, so we can go to that. So this sheet here is this sheet here came the other week. This is for the Audi A4 that Nunu did a couple of years back, which was the British touring car, and that's as far as mine got as a British touring car version, because the problem was it came out with the British touring car decals and everybody went, oh, a silver car, red dot, yeah, and so I saw loads of them built up. Now I like, if I'm going to build a model, I want it to be slightly different, so I went shopping, for want of a better way of putting it, and on NSK do a couple of, they do more than a couple of sheets for the A4. There's a fabulous South African touring car championship one in Rothman's colours.
Oh dear.
Definitely not politically correct at the era in which that car was still running with Rothman's colours for the rest of the world. But yeah, the South Africans made their own rules, didn't they, in that era? This is a... Sorry?
I said, what a drag.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. My printer's playing up, so it excludes the colour reproduction of this. So this sheet, you get one piece of paper, and on the bottom it says complete instructions, check our page. So you go to Facebook, on the Facebook page, in the photographs, scroll through until you find the right sheet number, and then there'll be all the options. So this sheet here, which comes with this, makes 4 options. They're not 4 individuals, but 4 variations. So you've got 2 cars that raced in the Super Touring Cup in 1999, which is part of the DTM series, and then 2 cars that raced at Macau. They're raced by either Bartelli's or Angelelli. I will be building the Bartels car. It's a solid green, a very high gloss, solid dark green, with the red and white stripes on the roof. You get the red and white stripes in the decal. They appear to be silkscreen printed from experience. They're quite fine. They can be a little fragile if you are not careful with them, but the sheets are comprehensive. And I'm going to do a little bit of that. So here you go. Colour density is always really good, and they're a nice glossy finish. It's a nice busy sheet. That's very much a John Mott sheet, that, isn't it?
You know what? I was just thinking. I was looking at the rest of their sheets, and I was, I know the logistics of having to sit down and design stuff like this, and that's a lot of work going into that. I mean, that's I tip my hat to that level of comprehensiveness.
They pick up all the variations between the 4 cars as well. So that you get. I've only printed the one out that I intend to build, but obviously, if you look at the other 3 pages of this, there'll be there's a sponsor different here, and there's a sponsor here that's different. There'll be an extra badge there, and things like that, and they're all picked out really, really well. You'll see here, you'll see the sponsor changes here and here, variations and stuff, to the point at which there's a Michelin decal on this rear bumper. They're different sizes for the Macau cars to the Super Touring cars, so they give you both. Let's be fair, historically, a lot of decal producers and manufacturers would have just given you one. And if you didn't like it, tough. Now, the thing with this kit is, this sheet that I'm building is, it does recommend within the body of the material that you use Zoom-on's replacement wheels for the car, which so I was like, all right, fair enough. Now, the thing is, with the Hong Kong, with the global economy as it is at the minute, the Hong Kong dollar is not very strong against the pound. I think the other day we were at 11 Hong Kong dollars to the pound, which is a pretty strong result at the minute. So these cost about £4. That's the kit wheel. Officially, they're the same style of wheel. This is the 3D printed one.
Yeah.
The additional finesse and the shaping is, worth a little bit extra. They are the same depth. They fit the kit tyres. And in there is a little decal sheet, funnily enough, produced by SK, with the right size of Oz wheels to go in the centres of them as well.
Brilliant.
To use the kit ones to do it. So I do like that. Please don't press the surface of the rim. Install the tyre by the side of the rim, so don't push down in the middle because it's going to break.
Yeah, you're literally going to. That's almost like snapping the support off of it. Part, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you went muffled then. But they are designed just to push fit into the kit, into the car chassis, just like the original wheels. So, I like SK stuff. I have, should we just say, a reasonable amount of it. But if I think that a manufacturer is making an effort to do things right, and that there will, with very simple steps to improve either my modelling or my model. I think, coming back to the tool you've just demonstrated, if there's something I can have in my hand or on my bench that will make the current model I'm making just that little bit better without me needing to spend ridiculous amounts of money. And let me tell you, 40 quid in our marketplace right now is not a ridiculous amount of money. No. Or anybody says that tool's expensive. No, it's not. End of conversation.
Yeah.
It's the little things that I can do which will improve my model making. And there's a thing here. This is one of my favourite tools. This is a Tamiya plastic file. It's a metal file. It's a very rigid metal file. It's got quite an aggressive cut on it, but very clearly it's just for plastic. And it wasn't cheap. But Knight spends more time on the edges of my benches for cleaning mold pips off, reshaping curves, getting rid of those mold lines on the edges of stuff that irritate us, where I don't want to use a scraping action because I know I'm going to leave a line if I do. So, and I think you'll probably think that you'll agree with me on this, and I hope you will anyway, that those little investments,
I'm listening in. I'm just reaching to grab something to talk about. Yeah, carry on.
Those little investments, those
Yeah,
£5 here, 30 quid there, 20 quid there. You know, a punch and dice set.
yeah.
You know, I was doing something ages ago. I bought one of the then new punch and dice sets from the Hungarian guy whose name's is it RP?
Radu
Yeah.
Brinzen. Yeah.
No. RP Tools. This guy.
Oh yeah.
And I was doing a demo with it at a club meeting. This is 10 years ago, it must be. And someone said, "Oh, why can't you just slice up a bit of rod?"
Oh,
Well, you could if you wanted to. Don't get me wrong, you could, but everything wouldn't be. It would be because it doesn't slice straight, does it?
Yeah.
Whereas with the punch and die set, they're the thickness you need, they're the exact diameter you need, and they are uniformly produced every time you hit the punch.
Yeah.
And that shows the approach that some people adopt against the approach that I adopt.
Yeah.
I will, if I need something and it wants to be right, I'll go out of my way to make it right. I don't want to califudge it. I don't want to not apply the best I can to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm spending 20 quid to get, well, right, okay, so shipped from Hong Kong, Macau, in 5 days from point of order for sub £12, a set of new wheels and a decal sheet, so that I can make that kit not in the kit sheet, so it won't just be another silver Audi A4 amongst all the others that everybody has already built, because the vast majority of them, we know, aren't built by people like us. They're built by the guys who just go Audi A4, and it's silver with the kit decals on it. And it's these little things that set us apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
No, I agree.
Yeah, and so those are the things that elevate your project that you're working on right now from being just another model, if you know what I mean. And I don't mean that in a detrimental way. No, I mean that in a it's worth the effort and the investment in your own time to make the thing you are putting your soul into that little bit better. And I think you only have to look at stuff like SK, Zoom on. There's a couple of other manufacturers in that area. There's blooming heck. I'll remember them later on, but there's another couple of decal manufacturers in there. You've got the guys at Fat Frog doing the 3D printed bits for the they've done an exhaust set for that M4, which we showed when we were talking about the kit initially, where you go from a couple of bits of plastic that's kind of passable, bearing in mind they're very visible from outside the model, to something with heat shielding on, proper brackets, bolt heads, and a very finessed edge and with no seams in it for £4. So it goes. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I kind of get that sort of kind of. Sometimes it's if you just want to build it out of the box, build it out of the box. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we have to do both, Ian, because when we're doing stuff for manufacturers, obviously we have to build out of the box, but also when we're doing what I call me models. Yeah. We like to put that little bit of extra in there. I was just going to say, you were talking about tools. This single-handedly is my favourite tool at the moment. That's a ceramic scraper. Just brilliant. And that's still the first blade. It's a fabulous bit of gear, that. Right, we are going to have to dive on to the last item for tonight. We can leave one for the next show because it's not news. It was just an item. Sarah Jane says the new BMW M4 is a great kit. You can see an improvement of fitment from the BMW M6, etc. Loved building it. Sarah Jane, please share your build pictures on our public page, which is Yeah, that would be fabulous.
I'm with Dave on that, by the way.
I'm coming down to Dave in a second. John P. Huston says the Tamiya plastic file is used in a single direction only.
Yeah.
They are great. And Agent Dave Fleming says that ceramic scraper has been out of stock forever.
Yeah, no, I haven't got one either, Dave. Every time he pulls that out,
I'm sure you go on Amazon, you can get ceramic scrapers, for goodness sake. Mike Williams says if the average price of a kit is £50 to £70, they might sit in the stash indefinitely. Just think how many tools you can get for similar money. But they'll get used every week or every day, a worthy investment. This is something I've probably said ad nauseum in my monthly column in Model Airplane International magazine. He said, shameless plug. And I'm always happier to invest in tools because they'll get used regardless. We can go out and buy a kit, and once that flash of interest has gone, it just gets shoved up in the loft. And Sarah Jane said, unfortunately, I don't do Facebook, but the pics are on another Facebook group. Okay, well, if you can, Sarah's coming at us from YouTube. So yeah, if you can, let me just call up our email address. Email us some pics, Sarah, and
really,
and we'll do something like that. So I'm just going to pop up the email address.
Although if you've got yours fixed, you got further than I did.
You what? Sorry.
I'm saying to her, if she's got hers finished, she's got damn sight further than I have.
There you go. info@gmail.com. So if you want to send us some pics of the model, we're more than happy to post them for you. Right. We are going to do the last news item for tonight. And finally, this is the and finally section. And it's mini art. And Ian, this is an offer you can't refuse, quite frankly, because they're doing gangsters. Rather interestingly, they're doing them in 35th scale. And there has been some feedback saying, why aren't they 24th or 25th scale? I am pretty sure Mini Art will get round to doing them at that scale at some time. So there we have.
The thing is, sorry. Four very angry-looking gentlemen.
They do seem to have a bit of an attitude problem, don't they? There has been, again, some comments that one of the machine guns is a bit too modern for them, but
yeah, the guy with the gun above his head is a much later weapon, but the early weapon is actually on the sprue as a spare part.
Right.
So yeah. So sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, carry on here.
So the thing that puzzled me about this, and obviously they're doing them in 35th scales. What do they go with in 35th scale? What is there that they actually theme with? Because I'm not aware that Mini Art have done any American period vehicles in 35th scale.
Right, I've got the Mini Art catalogue here in front of me. I'm just going through it.
Or are they going to sneak something in on us? A 35th scale 1930s Caddy or of something of that ilk? I'd have a go. But
yeah, I'm just having a look. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, it sounds like I'm starting a football chant there. They do. I'll just bring up. They have done some. They have done some 35th scale cars. Whether they're germane to American gangsters, I'm not entirely sure. Oh, curse you, StreamYard, with your new features. Right, here we go. So this is the 2025 Mini Art catalogue. So we do have You can see on the left there, we do have some 35th scale vehicles, and we've got a 35th scale. It's a German passenger car, admittedly.
They're all German or French.
They're all German, but they could be German cars imported into the United States. So you know what these gangsters are like, Ian.
Clutching at straws, a touch there, also.
Yeah, well, so yeah, they do. You
know what it would be interesting, because Mini Art, we know what Mini Art are like. They will drop surprise items on us left, right, and centre. Yes. Yeah. So Mike's picked up on that. I expected, when I saw the images for these, I expected them to be 124s, because my thought was, are they intending them to go with that forward-facing gangster car that we covered last time that I just announced? So when I realised they were 35th, my brain sort of went, where do they go? Where in the rest of the lineup? They're not. You might want to build them just as a standalone figure, as a figure painting exercise. Great, but they're sold kind of in that diorama line, and it was like, where are you going with these, lads? So if they turn around and then suddenly I've got a whole series of 20s and 30s American cars in 35th scale that's about to come out, knowing how Mini Art's kits are. I'm thrilled by that idea as a concept.
When I saw these, my first thought was, brilliant, they're 24 scale, they're to go with the gangster car. And it's like, no, they're not.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's the weapons sprue. Actually, there's the figures, and there are the sprues that go with it. So
I saw someone say a couple of the weapons sprues are straight out of one of their World War II American weapons sets.
Yeah, of course they are. Because that's how they do things.
So you're going to get an absolute shed load of bits left over that just aren't appropriate to the full figure.
Yeah, I didn't mean that to sound dismissive. I was
no, it's fine. I was right.
That's their modus operandi, isn't it? So so I'm like you. I'm puzzled that they're not 24th scale, but.
Can I have a set of 4 figures, one of which would be Sean Connery in a very large flat cap, one of which would be a certain other famous American actor, several, in fact a couple, if I remember correctly, in that, which I'm not allowed to touch.
What, you're not allowed to mention?
Not allowed to untouchables.
Oh, very good, very good.
God, I fed you a corking line there.
I know. It's been a long day, Ian. I unfortunately in this clement weather I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I can't get back to sleep. That's it. I'm up, bed's made, I'm downstairs, kettle's on, I'm in the workshop or I'm in the office, and that's it. Right. Any other business? Go on.
Things you find when you're looking for other things.
Oh, good Lord.
Talking about Aston Martins as we were earlier made my brain click. Whilst going through the concept, so anybody who follows the Interesting Modelling Company, and Drew in particular, will know that Drew's been going through his loft this week, and it's spurred a certain amount of retrospection around my loft stash, because he's been getting rid of things. And I pulled a load of my work in progress stuff off the shelf the other night. One of which is this. So there's a Portuguese manufacturer called Fernando Pinto Models, and he made this.
Ooh. Following
on from the delightful Aston Martin we were looking at earlier, this is an Aston Martin. This is an AMV8. This is a 1979 Le Mans car. It's a pretty much a one-off vehicle. Kit's been out a little while. It's run by Robin Hamilton. This kit's got 2016 on it, so it's. I don't think I don't know that I've necessarily owned it that long, but I have had it a while. And it's. Should we just say it's not alpha quality? But that looks like it wants to chew your leg off, doesn't it?
It's got a touch of the Timothy Daltons about it, hasn't it?
Hasn't it just? Yeah. This, we were talking about the tail lights on the Aston Martin. Yeah. Again, someone commented on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some work may be required.
Mm-hmm.
But,
some modelling may be required. Yeah.
yes, some modelling may be required. But shape-wise, it's pretty much there. There's a bit of work. I've been doing quite some work on this. This has been an on and off project for about 18 months to 2 years now. But it definitely looks like an Aston Martin, doesn't it?
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, my first thought was Timothy Dalton, The Living Daylights.
Yeah, of that. Yeah, that kind of thing. But I mean, this thing, apparently the noise it made was thunderous as it rolled around.
Also, a touch of the George Lazenby's on a Majesty's Secret Service as well.
Yeah. I was just trying to think how long? 79, 89, 99, 2009. To that, oh dear. Yeah. 40 years ago.
Yes.
But that's kind of my Drew, it's all your fault moment.
Everything's Drew's fault, quite frankly.
I'm not going to tell him that.
No, that's fine.
Yes,
It'll be our little secret. Dave Coward says, top tip of the day, don't leave your nearly finished model under the magnifying light on a sunny day and go out. Result, perfect laser cut through the tail when you get back. See, it's a very Bond villain themed show tonight, isn't it?
So, Mr. Bottle, do you expect me to talk? No, I expect you to melt.
Yes. And yeah, Mike Williams says, wasn't it ICM that recently did a 124 scale gangster car?
Yeah,
it did. Right.
We need to get car shows, by the way.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just got to do a little bit of housekeeping here, and that is that this Thursday, it's the Cars at Jadlam show in that there Glastonbury. I will be there doing the modelling demos. So I'll be building Russ's big Tyrrell. So there we go. This is from Jadlam's Facebook page. So all up a mini, lovely. So yeah, this will be this Thursday between 6 and 8 p.m. So if you are in the area, it would be splendid to see some of you come down, say hello, or enjoy it. I mean, there's not that guy. But yeah, it's a good show, and Jadlam always do put on good shows. So yeah, I should be there doing the building the Tyrrell, and it looks like it's going to be another melty day, Ian.
You'll have a lovely time.
I will have a lovely time. I will have a lovely time because it's Glastonbury, and I love Glastonbury. I've
got to get down this year.
Yeah.
For some reason, at some point or other, I need to get down this year because I've been to. I was working out. I think I've been in that area maybe 3 times in my life. And I know there's stuff down there I should have seen.
Yeah.
I need to get myself organised.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
right. On that note, a big thank you to everybody who has tuned in tonight. Thank you for giving of, goodness me, Ian, thank you for giving of an hour and 20 minutes of your precious lives tonight. We really do appreciate you coming along and watching middle-aged men whittle on about their favourite hobby. So fingers crossed, we'll be back next Sunday for Sunday service. So hopefully Drew and Mike will be back, and Chris. Ian, you're always welcome to join us for one of those as well. And hopefully we will do another car service in a month's time. Look forward to it. Really do look forward to it. On that note, thank you to Ian as well. And tonight, we'll leave you with this. So until the next time, bye-bye, everybody.
All right.